Hi, it's Leanne, and today I'm going to show you how to make a scrunchie from an old t-shirt sleeve or a pair of leggings. So what you'll need for this project is an old t-shirt or leggings or any lightweight to medium weight jersey or woven fabric. Heavy or knitted fabrics that would fray very easily don't work as well for this project. You'll also need a pair of scissors, 1 centimetre squared paper or cardboard, pins or clips, a safety pin, flat elastic measuring 20 centimetres or a strip of old t-shirt yarn. Have a look at my no-sew face mask video for how to make t-shirt yarn. You'll also need a needle and thread to sew the project, or you can use a sewing machine and something to mark the fabric such as a pencil or chalk. The main strip of the scrunchie will be 8 centimetres wide by 46 centimetres long. If you want to add a tie to the scrunchie, draw another rectangle 26 centimetres long by 8 centimetres wide. To prepare the garment ready to use for the scrunchie fabric, cut off the sleeve. And then cut down the seam. Flatten the sleeve out and pin 2 paper pieces to the sleeve. So now take the long strip of fabric and fold over the short end by about 1 centimetre. You can do both ends, or I'm going to use the ready-made hem on the sleeve of the garment and leave that intact. Then take the fabric and fold it right sides facing in, lengthways. Take the elastic and tuck it underneath the seam allowance at one end. Then pin into place and then pin along the length of the open seam. Then sew up the short end of the mask with 0.5 centimetre seam allowance. If you're sewing it by hand, add a couple of extra stitches, or on the machine, reverse where the elastic is to reinforce. Then stitch along the full length, leaving one end open. When you're about halfway there, it's helpful to use a pencil or chopstick to poke the rest through. Now find the safety pin and start to pull towards the open end of the scrunchie. Once the safety pin is showing out of the end of the scrunchie, unfasten the safety pin and keep hold of the elastic, and then lay it flat over the stitched up short end of the scrunchie. Sew the elastic and then slip the open end of the scrunchie over the other end. And just make sure that the seam hasn't got twisted, and then sew along here to close the scrunchie. The main part of the scrunchie will then be finished and ready to use if you don't want to have a tie. I'm now going to show you how to make the tie. Take the rectangle and fold it lengthways with the right side of the fabric facing inwards. Then measure 5 centimetres from the corner on the folded edge. And mark the fabric. Then snip from the bottom corner to the mark through both layers of fabric. You'll then have a shape like this. With the fabrics folded right sides facing in, sew up the edges using a 1/2 centimetre seam and leave a gap in the middle of about 6 centimetres. Then turn the tie through to the right side. And poke out the ends to get a nice point. Now sew down the long side of the scrunchie tie to close the gap, and then knot the tie over the seam on the scrunchie, and that's going to hide any stitching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching.